Hey guys, this is Mr. Sal. I'm redoing number 9 and 10 on that practice test review. Apparently I had, in the original video, made some unfortunate errors, and so I'm redoing these for you guys. So, we want to find the surface area on this figure, number 9. And to start off, what we will do is just acknowledge that we have 6 faces on this shape. We got a top, a bottom, left, right, front, and back. And once we find all these surface areas, then all we will need to do is add all of them together. So let's go and take a look at these. Now I have these kind of paired with the same colors because since this is a rectangular prism, all the opposite surfaces or faces are going to have the same dimensions. So for example, the top right here is the same as the bottom, and that is a 13 by 9 rectangle, which gives us 117 square meters. So the bottom face also matches that, so also a 13 by 9 rectangle. Now let's look at the left and the right faces. This one here is on the right, and that we can see is a 9 by 4 rectangle, and 9 times 4 is 36 square meters. But the right face matches the left face, so these both are 36 square meters. And then finally here in the front, which will match the back face, this one is a 13 by 4 rectangle, which gives us 52 square meters. Now that's going to match the back as well. So we just have pairs of these, right? And finally, to figure out the full surface area, we're just going to add all this together. And when I do that, I get 410 square meters. And that would be the full surface area of the entire rectangular prism. Next up, on this one, just to make sure we don't make the same mistake, or for me anyways, is when we look at the surface area of this shape, first off, we need to look and notice that we have this triangle which matches the one in the back, which is true for all prisms. Then we've got these 3 rectangles which we need to account for, and they're different, right? This one has a length of 16 by 14, this one's a 12 by 14, and this is a 20 by 14. 3 rectangles and 2 triangles. So I'm going to start off with this rectangle here, which is matched by the one in the back. So I'm kind of redrawing it like this just so we can see that the base value is 12 feet and then the height is 16 feet. The mistake that I had made is I used the 20 feet, which we do not want to do. So that's just part of this diagonal right here, but that's not part of the base or the height of this rectangle. The 20 is what we will use. It's a dimension of this rectangle, but it's not usable for this triangle because it doesn't show height or base value. So to find the area of this thing, what I'm going to do is take the base is 12, multiply that by the height is 16, and then divide that all by 2. And that gives me 96 feet squared. Now remember though, it matches this triangle here in the back. So in addition to that 96 square feet, I've got another set as well. Now yeah, some of you guys say that, look, I'm just not going to divide by 2 because if I have 2 of them, then it takes away that half. That's okay, just as long as you can keep track of all 5 surfaces of this triangular prism. Next up, I'm going to move on to this face here, kind of on the left, right? And that is a rectangle, if I were to draw it over here. And the dimensions of this rectangle are a 12 foot by 14 foot rectangle. So when I find that area, I've got 12 times 14, which is 168 square feet. Now I'm going to add that to those 2 red values, but before I do, let's go ahead and find this area. I'm going to call that the base of this, or the bottom. Okay. So again, this would give me another rectangle, but now it's a 20 foot by 14 foot rectangle. So when I want that area, I got 20 times 14, which is 280 square feet. Now I do have one surface or face that remains, and that's this one, which again is a rectangle, and this one appears to be 16 feet by 14 feet. Notice the 14 was part of all three of these rectangles, right? That's because that's the height, or depth in this case, of this triangular prism. So it's 16 times 14, which on my calculator gives me 224 square feet. The last thing I need to do is just add all these together, and that would give me the total surface area of this three-dimensional triangular prism. And that appears to give me 864 square feet, which would be the total surface area of this triangular prism.